All right, I'm always scratching my beard and stuff like that, and I don't know why. It's kind of like a little. I got to get into that a little bit. I started growing this. Well, first of all, happy Thursday, everybody. I think today's the 29th or something like that. Wow, what a trip already. 2026 is already in, and we're almost done with the first month already. Oh my God. Having a little bit of apples, and then I'm trying out this new protein bar. It's called Rise. No sponsor, no affiliate, nothing like that ever, guys. I mean, maybe down the road or something, but right now this is just about me trying out different stuff. So far it's good. It's a little hard, you know what I mean? A little hard on the teeth. It's kind of like a really tough brownie. No, it's even worse than that. It's really just hard. But you can get through it, and once you bite off a little piece, and you can kind of like work on it and stuff like that. But it does say that it's kind of hard stuff. But there's only like 3 to 4 ingredients, so I do like that too. So the limited amount of ingredients. Because most protein bars these days basically is glorified candy bars. They throw a little protein in a Snickers. Hey, protein bar. So today's topic is going to be called love is an action word. And there's a couple words that I think is an action word, meaning that you can't sit on it and say this is where you're at. You have to express it. You have to do it. You have to explore it. You have to show it. And love is one of those words. Gratitude is another word too. Gratitude to me is one of those ones where, you can sit there and be grateful, but if you're not doing nothing, same thing with faith. Faith is an action word too. You have to do something with these things. Love today is the topic though. So love is an action word. And so the reason why I want to bring this up is because, if your situation is kind of like mine, there's a lot of things, and I talked about this in one of the first, second, or third videos, is called hovering. And what happens sometimes is whenever spouses move out, man or woman, they'll move into something different, but they want to be able to play it safe and still keep you on the string, and keep you on the line. And they want to be able to keep you hooked a little bit, but they don't want to commit to going back to you. So, and they don't want to commit to whatever new world they're in right now either. So one of the easiest things I think that anybody could do on being able to navigate through that kind of turmoil, because again, if there is a lot of fighting in a relationship, maybe it's okay to take a separation, but there still needs to be date night or counseling or something. There needs to be action if it's love. There has to be action in it if there's love. So what happened in my scenario, and I'm not going to get too deep into it because I'm still going through it, and I don't want to bash any one person, but I'll talk about behaviors. Is that obviously I was told, I'm not in love with you anymore, and they left, and then they kept saying, hey, I love you, I miss you, I love you, I miss you, love you, miss you. So what's that called? And I found that out was called hovering. Again, every case is different, but this is my interpretation. I don't know what the intentions of another person is 100%, but this is what I choose to call it, okay? Hovering. So they're going to move on to their new life. And remember, we talked about a couple of different times that women have a whole plan made 6 months before they even tell you, hey, here's my plan. You will be shocked that it happened because maybe you don't even see the signs or nothing like that. But whenever they move on, they're already moved on, and they've been scouting for side jobs for a while. You know what I mean? So one of the things I want to be able to caution you guys about is a spouse, a girlfriend, a woman, a wife, whatever, that when they leave you and they say they need space and they tell you, I need to work on myself, that's a red flag already. Honestly, 100%, because love is an action word. And when I say that, what I'm saying is that love heals together. Love makes plans for both of you. This is the best case scenario I can give you, is that, a marriage is two people, obviously a relationship is two people, and love requires another person. You love your dog, but I'm talking about in relationships. Love requires another person, and hopefully it reciprocates. And if the other person says it does reciprocate, there's certain actions and behaviors that happen behind it that must be part of the relationship. Regardless if you guys are taking a time out from each other, regardless if you guys are going to counseling, regardless if you guys are fighting, there's certain do's and don'ts that are in that realm of love. So here's kind of what I want you to be aware of, and this is an analogy. So if two people are hanging off of a cliff, and let's say each one of them have one hand, and then they're holding on to the other hand of each other. That's basically, you got one hand to hang on to the cliff and one hand to hang on to your partner. And the other partner should be doing the same thing too. That makes you guys strong. You know what I mean? That makes you guys both stable. It's not a great place to be when you're on the cliff, but obviously it means we're committed. If you fall, I fall. That's the beauty of that analogy. Because don't let go of that hand, no matter what. I'm hanging on for dear life, and I'm hanging on to you. We're in a bad situation, but I love you enough that I'm going to I'm going to pull through with you on this. We're going to make it. We're going to hang on to each other. To me, no matter how bad things get, you know, that's how it should be, no matter what. Unless it's violent, unless you fall out of love, you know what I mean? Then it's over. But if your spouse is telling you why they moved on and why they're not around and why they're living their new life and all this other stuff, that they're in love with you still and they love you, you need to look at the actions of it. Is there some part of hand holding, the analogy again, to where you guys are still connected? And I don't mean she comes to visit the kids or sees the dogs or drops off your mail. I'm talking about, are you guys working on counseling together? Are you guys going out at least once a week? You have to go out and you still have to see each other. Because the likelihood of you getting back together once there's a separation is 95% is no. Is no. It's not going to happen. 95%. And I don't know about you, but in a marriage that had all the vows that we had at the very beginning, 95% chance of not making it is not where I signed up. And it's not where you guys signed up either, hopefully. And it's not where they signed up either. So in order to increase the likability that you guys are going to make it, you have to still have that one hand for each other. And that'll come in many signs. Like I said, it's going to come in the sign of daily phone calls, probably. Not text messages, but daily phone calls. And this is if you have to separate. Because I'm not saying I'm not saying that's the end of the world. But I'm saying if she says space and I need to work on myself, that's probably the end of the world. But if you guys are fighting so much where you can't get along, we have to have that little separation. But as long as you're still meeting somewhere, emotionally, physically, at church, going to counseling, visitations with the kids, pretending to be a family. I don't even like to use the word pretending, but at least going through the motions of still being a family. That's the part where you guys are still holding on to each other's hands. And okay, that's an okay place to be. That's an action. There has to be action. There has to be action within it. If your spouse is not doing at least one of those things and you're going through a separation and possibly a divorce, you have to realize exactly where you're at. You are no longer in a relationship. No matter what they tell you, oh, I love you, I just need space, or I miss you, I really want to come home, but they don't, and then it's that. It's hovering, or bare minimum, it's them regretting their decision but not willing to make the commitment to come back to you. And as men, again, this is all predicated on us being good guys too, though. And I don't mean like we were perfect husbands, but what I mean is we were chaste, we were honest, we were 100% loyal, we were committed, we didn't abuse our wives emotionally, physically, or anything like that. We weren't drunks, we weren't alcoholics. We tried to be the best providers that we could be. We were good dads, we were good son-in-laws, all that stuff. The best that you could give, if you gave the best that you could give, then that's the most important thing, first of all. So what I want you guys to think about too, though, is that if you gave your best, do you deserve second best? Do you deserve backup plan? Are you the backup plan guy now? If you're in a 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 year marriage and your wife leaves you and she says that she loves you and she says she's in love with you and she says she misses you, but she's not coming home, she's not visiting, she's not going to counseling, she's not showing up at church, she's not doing family time with the kids and you, going to the park, doing an activity, where at least there's this solidification of where you two know, hey, you know what, or at least you know anyhow, okay, this seems like it's just it's a temporary pause. And sometimes those are healthy, but if you're not getting those things of the action, then you're being played. 100%, guys, you're being played. Because love doesn't heal on its own. Love heals together. And I want you to know that this comes from me. It's not in a book. I haven't read it, but I've gone through 3 marriages. I've been through a lot of relationships, and I studied a lot about different things, and I've questioned a lot of things, and I've gone into deep analysis of everything. And obviously, being the person on the other side of it, I've been able to analyze my mistakes and where I should have put my foot down faster, where I should have said, hey, no, this is intolerable. I'm not doing that. These are the parameters. If you're saying you need space, then every week you need to be this, we need to do that, we need to do that, because I prolonged pain for far too long. I went around thinking that, I was like a woman, like I was nesting around the house. I was cleaning up pictures and, looking at all this stuff and making sure that things that said families forever and home and bless this home and all this shit. that was everywhere. I made sure it was all dusted and cleaned, and her family, my family, and our pictures and stuff like that. It was like my most sacred prized possession, and I was burning candles and doing the, like I told you the other day about the algorithms and on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, or X, where it'd be like type 777 if you want your spouse back. I did all that stuff. You know what I mean? Because I was the one putting in the action. I was the one that was being susceptible to whatever. And every time that this person told me, I'm going to come home, I open arms, come home. I love you. Come home. Let's work this out. This is your family. This is where you belong. But no action would ever happen. So I wish somebody would have told me. But again, when you're messed up in your heart, I probably wouldn't have listened anyhow, because honestly, I knew this shit. You know what I mean? I knew this shit, because the mind will tell you, and then the heart will say, no, that's a lie. Things are going to work out. It's going to be okay. You just need to try hard. You need to pray harder. You need to prove yourself. You need to go through more pain. You need to let her know you're suffering. You need to let her know you're being faithful. You need to let her know that you're keeping the house okay. You need to let her know you're taking care of the dogs. You need to let her know you're cleaning up the house. You need to let her know what a man you are. You're making your own breakfast. You're doing your own thing. You're cleaning your own clothes. You're doing all this. You're going to church. You're doing this. Look at me. I changed my clothes. I'm cleaning up. Everything you wanted from me, I'm getting it done. Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. If anything, it probably feeds the monster more, because now she knows she has more control. And a person that has more control feels more freedom to do what they want. You guys catch that? More freedom. Their allowance doesn't mean money. The allowance is that you give them to hurt you deeper and to go further into what they want to do is based on how you respond to them leaving you. And that is a pathetic place to be. It really is. And I was there. I want you guys to avoid that. I really do. I want you guys to be able to listen to words that I say. I'm 58 years old. Doesn't mean I'm wiser than everybody else, but I've definitely learned a lot. You know what I mean? I've learned a lot. And, the 27th of this month was exactly 90 days that she moved out. So today's 92 days that she moved out. And I still count that stuff. I'm weird like that until the divorce is final. Then after that, I block everything and we're done, and I get to move on, and no more counting, no more days, no more nothing. And sure, the pendulum will swing every now and then, and I'll think, oh, it's sad or something. But my emotions are way different now. I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm excited about the pathways that I've got, laying out before me. And I see that there's a future. You know what I mean? I really do. I see there's a future. And you know what? As long as I continue on the same path that I'm going on right now, I'm going to be okay. With or without another spouse, with or without another girlfriend, it's okay. I can date. I know I can do that, and dating's fun. You know what I mean? As I remember, it was 17 years ago. I met my ex-wife now on a date. You know what I mean? So dating is going to be an exciting part of your guys' life, man. But you need to heal as fast as you can. Doesn't mean fake. A lot of people just, they do the fluff stuff, and they get like, they hurry up and they do this and do that, but you're just masking stuff. You're not getting into the fester. You have to get into the fester. You have to dig deep into that wound. You have to cleanse it out. Yes, I'm old enough to remember Mercurochrome. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but it's that red substance that was on the glass tube, and your moms used to put it on you and burn like hell. But that's the thing that they wanted to be able to do. And they blow on it. So, but that's where you got to go. You got to go into that pain. You already got the wound. The wound's happened already, guys. There's no way to avoid the wound. Well, there is ways, but it still festers. You could drink, you could whore around, you could do all this stuff. You could smoke cigarettes or pot or do drugs or whatever, mull up around the house. But the wound's there. It's already been established. You got stabbed, you got burnt, you got gilded, whatever it is that happened in that relationship. The wound's already there. So how fast you want to be able to heal that wound is going to be totally up to you guys. And that's why I want to do these series of videos to be able to help you out and say, hey, you know what? Because I am living proof, guys. I'm living proof. It's been since December 5th that I started healing fast. And it's not fake. It's not fake. I wish I had fake so I can tell you guys, hey, this is the fake thing I did, the fake thing I did. I mean, I did do the weird, goofy shit for the first 6 weeks or something like that. But this is a 17-year marriage. And I promise you guys, man, almost 17 years. I promise you, from the depth of my soul, I loved my wife. From the depth of my soul, it tore me apart when she left. This isn't about that I didn't love her, so I was able to heal faster. I promise you that. And I'll continue to always say that. I loved my wife. I loved my wife with all my heart. Matter of fact, she was the one that I trusted 100%, without question, 100%. I never believed her and I would separate. I never believed ever that she would leave me. Never. And it's not complacency. These are words that she likes to probably use and other people would. It's not like I sat on the couch and I didn't care if she didn't leave, because complacency is almost like you don't care. There's no value in it. You know what I mean? We had a lot of fun. We did a lot of things together. We traveled just 2025. We went on 6 mini vacations together. We threw our asses in the van, went camping here, played here, went do this, but things change, people change, and I'm telling you right now, I didn't have no escape. I didn't go anywhere. I stayed in this house, like I told you before. This is Superman's Fortress of Solitude. And I started working on myself. Deep work, man, deep work. And it was a lot of work and it was a lot of pain, but I went into that wound. I did 3 different therapists online, and I was doing 3 sessions a week at $90 a week. Luckily, I had that money to be able to do that. I don't like going into my savings and stuff, but that's what it's kind of for, is for emergencies. And the emergency was my heart and my life. That's where my emergency was. But if I would have accepted faster that love is an action word, even though I knew that, but if I would have accepted it faster, and I did damn good, guys. I mean, honestly, I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit here because of the fact that most dudes I know from a 5-year marriage are still drinking and stuff like that. From a 10-year marriage, they're a year and a half out before they're healed. From a 16-year marriage, they're still sad at 3 years. Most dudes I know. I'm okay. I've been okay for a while. I'm doing belly laughs and stuff like that. And whenever I get tormented or manipulated or attempts to what I perceive as manipulation from the other side, it doesn't twist me. It doesn't affect me anymore. And in fact, I feel bad for the other person. I really do. I feel bad that they had to alter their life so much. At first it hurt me, a lot of different things. Oh, this, how I thought I meant more, and thought I meant more, and thought I meant more. But what I realized is I did mean a lot. I meant so much that this other person had to run so far, so fast, so hard, and even go out to dates to be able to backfill that missing void in their heart for me. Makes me special. Doesn't make me garbage. Doesn't make me bad. You know what I mean? Makes me super special because I'm going to take a lot to fill. You know what I mean? This person's going to take a lot to be able to fill in that blank of where I was. And you guys too. Everybody is special. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm more special than you, but I'm saying to me, I know I was special to her, 100%. You can't go 16 years in the bucket of sunshine that I am with a lot of fun and all that stuff. And the way I always made sure that she was happy and smiling and safe and comfortable and, all that stuff. I used to make her tea or coffee in the morning and give her pills and stuff. I was very attentive in a lot of ways. In some ways I lacked. I'm not going to lie. In some ways I lacked. But like I said, before, love is a garden and everybody has to put in the plants that they want and both people have to tend to it. So if there's something missing, one person can't say, hey, there's no roses in here, and blame the other person. You both got to work on it. And I've learned that too. So if you're not seeing actions in this separation or divorce, then you need to take action on your own. And when I say action on your own, you need to protect yourself. You need to be able to look at everything else, say, hey, you know what? I need to financially protect myself. I did that too. After the divorce is over, I'll explain to you exactly what I did. Emotionally protect yourself. I did that too. I really did that a lot too. But it was hard. I mean, honestly, I've had nervous breakdowns a couple of different times where I couldn't come into work for 4 days, and I had to see. I went to counseling courses and self-help courses for 5 days in a row for 6 to 8 hours a day after my nervous breakdown. So that's what I'm telling you guys. I did the hard shit. I went into the wound. I went deep into the wound. I didn't lay on the couch and just sulk and cry. There's plenty of time for that. There's going to be plenty of time for that. You don't have to do it all day long. You don't have to do it Friday when you're off work until Sunday and you go to bed. I mean, you don't have to drown yourself in alcohol either, or drugs, or pornography, or women, or whores, or something. You don't have to do all that either. But you got to plan things that are going to make you better. Corey's a better man these days, man. I'm telling you right now, everybody that sees me is like, dude, you are shining. And I don't mean because I'm glistening, but I mean shining. My spirit's alive. I'm looking good. I'm feeling better. I'm dressing nice. And I think I'm even better than what I was before. Parts of me, I think I sacrificed too for this relationship that I didn't know I sacrificed. And I'm not saying that I regret it ever happening, because there's a lot of things that saved my life about this relationship. And my ex will forever have that code, that shield, that honor, that award of being the woman that saved my life for medical reasons. And I'll get into that too. But action has to happen, guys. Action has to happen. And I don't care what chicken shit excuse she keeps using. Oh, it's an hour away from church. Oh, I can't come over this week. Oh, I got plans this weekend. Oh, I got... If you aren't part of her plans, then she's making plans without you. She's planning to be without you. You guys understand that? If you're not part of your plans, she's making plans without you, and her plans are to be without you. There's no getting around that. There's no getting around that. She's test driving her new life. And every time you continue to put up with it and you grovel and you beg, it gives her that much more freedom. It gives her that much more allowance to do whatever she wants. Next thing you know, if you keep chasing her and whining her and begging her and this stuff, she's going to be in a whole other relationship. And you're still going, and she's like, well, I'm just testing the waters. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I just, Tom showed up and, or Big Tyrone. I like to say Big Tyrone because I've seen some videos where these girls are like, if you don't get this girl, Big Tyrone's going to get ahead of her. So I like that Big Tyrone thing. And I don't know who the lady is on TikTok or Instagram or something. But it's funny though. She's all, oh, hey, you ain't after that. Big Tyrone's going after that. And yeah, Big Tyrone's going after your girl. You know what I mean? And that's because you're going after your girl, but she don't want you. You know what I mean? And if you get strong and you start getting your shit together, you'll find out she'll probably want you then, but it's not because she wants you. It's not real love. That's the other part about it too, man, is if your woman didn't put in the work, like I said, love is an action word. If your woman did not put in the work to try to solidify the promise of we're going to work this out, no matter how far I am, no matter what I'm doing, no, not whatever I'm doing, where I'm living, no matter how long it takes, we have a commitment to continue to work this out. There has to be a vow. Physical space isn't what makes a marriage. It's all the vows that you took during that time. There are men and women that go to war and leave their spouse for 2 years. Doesn't mean they cheat, doesn't mean they divorce. It means that they're unfortunately separated. There's a space between them. Same thing's going to happen in this, maybe, if that's what needs to happen. But there has to be a commitment. The vow has to continue. You can't work on only your own self and tell your man that, oh, I just need space and I need to heal. I need self-care and this. That's not what she means. She's hunting for Big Tyrone. And as long as you keep letting her do that shit, she's going to be all down there. They're going to be doing her own thing. And you're going to be the sucker with a bump in his trunk, just like Limp Bizkit used to say. So guys, if I could leave you with one word or one thing, it's going to be love is an action word. If there's no actions, there's no love. And the last thing I want to do too is I'm going to tell you this, and we're going to have, hopefully that might be a topic for tomorrow. It's going to be about when you start to shine. If she wants you back all of a sudden, she doesn't really want you back. She just wants control. You know what I mean? Or she wants her life back before she might have scorched earth policy. But it's not you she wants back. Just the control, the life. It's not you. 100%. It's not you. That's if she didn't do the love as an action word thing. So I love you guys. Leave words, leave any things, questions or anything you got in the comments, and I'm here for you.